Good morning, children. Stay safely at home. So, in the last lecture, we got the concept of energy of electrons in a stable orbit, and we got these relations that total energy is given by minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught z e squared by 2r, and kinetic energy is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught z e square by 2r. So you see total energy and kinetic energy, their magnitude is same, but total energy is having a negative sign. Then potential energy is half of the total energy, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught z e square by with a negative sign. Is that clear? Now you see in the expression of the total energy, r is there, the radius of the orbit of the electron. Okay, so if you substitute the expression for r that already we got, then we get this relation for energy. It's a very important relation. You have to learn and remember this expression. Alright, that energy is given by minus mz square e to the power 4 8 epsilon naught square 8 square into 1 upon n square. Alright, n is the principal quantum number. And for hydrogen like atom, z will have some value, but for hydrogen atom, the value of z will be equal to 1. Now this energy relation you can write in different forms also, because m e to the power 4 by 8 epsilon naught square ch cube, this is a constant, and this constant is denoted by big R, and it is also known as Rydberg constant. So this is a very important concept, so you must learn and remember it. And what is the value of the Rydberg constant? It is 1.090 10 to the power 7 meter to the power minus 1. Because you see in this expression all quantities are constant. M is the mass of the electron, E is the charge of the electron, epsilon naught you know it is a constant, and then C is also constant, H is also constant. So if you substitute all the values, then you see the value of R, which is known as the Rydberg constant, is given by 1.090 10 to the power 7 meter to the power minus 1. Now, if you substitute R is equal to this, here you see 8 square is there, another C is there down, okay. So, E you can write it as minus RHC into Z square by N square, alright. This relation is better to remember, learn and remember for solving the numericals and conceptual problems. So this relation you have to remember, then you have to learn and remember the Rydberg constant, the expression along with the value, and then E. This is the easiest expression for the total energy, that E is equal to minus RHC into Z square by N square. So you see you can write minus 13.6 Z square by N square. Electron volt, this is the most important part. When you are substituting RHC, then this value 13.6, which is the easiest one to remember, it is in electron volt, not in joule. Alright, so you must remember it. So you see for hydrogen atom, as RHC is equal to R into H into C is 13.6 electron volt. So for hydrogen atom, energy of the nth level, okay, here n subscript I am giving, rather I should give it for all, because this is the nth energy level. So nth energy level you see for hydrogen atom Z is 1, so it is 13.6 by n square electron volt. You must remember it, because conceptual question you may get from this expression. Just you will get this. Suppose you have to write down the what is the energy of the third energy orbit. Third energy orbit means n is equal to 3. Then you see from this expression easily one can find out what is E3. Okay, energy of the third level. Energy of the third level will be minus 13.6 by 3 square electron volt. Okay, this is also, this relation also sometimes you may have to use while answering the numericals. Clear? So, as I am saying that these are the relations you are supposed to learn and remember. Please do learn it and practice it by writing. Okay, every day you write all these expression and practice it also, so that you can learn and remember all these expression. Now you see, if you consider the transition of electron according to the third postulate of Bohr, we know that if nu be the frequency of the radiation emitted, then h nu is equal to E2 minus E1. So if you substitute the expression for E, you know that E is equal to minus m e to the power 4 z square by 8 epsilon naught square h square n square. Okay, there is a negative sign. So when it will be E2 minus E1, then you see all these quantities will remain same. For the first energy level, it will be N1, and for the second energy level, it will be N2. Okay, N1 is the principal quantum number of the first energy level, and N2 be the principal quantum number of the second. So here you see E2 minus E1, but we have got 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, taking this part as common. Why it is not N2 square minus N1 square? Because E is having a negative sign. Okay, so don't do the mistake. Now you see h nu is this. Again you know the frequency nu is equal to c by lambda. I hope you can remember that velocity of a wave, electromagnetic wave, is given by c is equal to nu into lambda. So nu you can write it as c by lambda. So you see you are getting hc by lambda is m e to the power 4 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So 1 by lambda you can write it as m e to the power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square ch cube into z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now just in the previous previous discussion we have got, this is nothing but the Rydberg constant. So you are getting it as z square r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Alright. Now what is 1 by lambda? 1 by lambda is known as the wave number. Okay, 1 by lambda is, what is the name of 1 by lambda? 1 by lambda is known as the wave number. What is its meaning? It means that number of waves per unit length. Number of waves that can be accommodated per unit length. That is known as the wave number, and this is a very important relation in physics. Okay, this relation also you are supposed to remember. If you compare with the energy relation, it is easy to remember that 1 by lambda is equal to z square r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. And what is the name of 1 by lambda? 1 by lambda is known as the wave number. Okay, and for hydrogen like atom, remember z will become 1. So it will be 1 by lambda equal to r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So you see, if you apply this expression for energy, that minus z square 13.6 by n square electron volt, then for hydrogen atom you can write that what is the expression for energy? It is z is equal to 1, so 13.6 n square electron volt. Alright, so according to Bohr, what we have got, that electron cannot stay in any orbit, and electron can stay only in the stable orbit, and stable orbit energy is given by this. So you see, what is the lowest value of n? Lowest value of n is equal to 1, and when n is equal to 1, then E1 is equal to 13.6 electron volt. This is E1. And then you see, when n is equal to 2, it will be 13.6 by 4. So energy value is minus 3.4 electron volt. Is that clear? So you see, what is the difference between 13.6 and 3.4? Almost 10. So you see the gap is large. Then if you consider the third level means n is equal to 3, so 3 square means 9. So 13.6 by 9 is coming 1.51 electron volt. So you see the gap between these two is almost, I am telling the approximate value, not the exact value. It is almost 1.5, and what was the gap here? 10. So when I have drawn the diagram, you see this gap is bigger. And then this is quite small. Why? Because this is almost 10, whereas this is 1.5, although I have not used the same scale. And then when n is equal to 4, means this is the fourth energy level. 4 means, n is 4 means how much? 16. So 13.6 by 16 is 0.85. So look at this, the gap between E3 and E4 is almost 0.7 or 0.6, like that. What is the meaning? That the first level, which is known as the ground state. First level is known as the ground state. And after that, E2, E3, E4, all these states are known as the excited state. Alright, in 10th standard, you studied it during the gamma radiation, that this one is known as the ground state, and the other energy level leaving the ground state are known as the excited state. Then what is the highest energy level? That is n equal to infinity. So it will be infinity level, you cannot draw. So this is the way we represent n equal to infinity. Is that clear? So you see, when an electron is getting the proper energy, suitable energy for that stable orbit, electron will stay, means depending on how much energy it is having, it may stay in E1, E2, E3, E4, like that. Is that clear? And then when the electron will get extra energy, okay, suppose electron in the E2 level has got extra energy, then what it will do? It will jump to some higher orbit, higher level, but it cannot stay in that level, and it will stay in that level for 10 to the power minus 8 seconds, and after that it will come back. So when it will come back, then it will emit the extra energy in the form of radiation. Okay, that is the concept. So in this case, you see, if an electron is in the ground state or any energy state, and if you can take the electron to the equal to infinite state, highest energy level, then what will happen? What is the physical meaning? That you are taking out the electron from an atom. Okay, it means what? You are converting the atom into an ion, because you know, if you take out any electron from the atom, it is converted into positive ion. Is that clear? So in this case, you see how much energy you have to give to an electron to ionize it, to ionize the atom. It will be E1 to infinity, isn't it? From ground state you have to take to infinity. Is that clear? So how we get the energy generally? We get the energy by passing the electron to an accelerating potential. Is that clear? And this potential, which can provide the electron necessary energy so that it can come out from the atom, and atom becomes an ion, is known as the ionization potential, and the energy needed by the electron to come out from an atom to jump from the ground state to the infinite state is known as the ionization energy. Alright, like that, when an atom moves from the ground state to any excited state, as I said already, these all the states are known as the excited states. Okay, so suppose one electron has moved from E1 to E2. So E2 is the first excited state. So it needs some energy to move to the excited state. So the energy needed by an electron to move from ground state to an excited state is known as the excitation energy. And how you can provide the excitation energy to an electron? By passing the electron to an accelerating potential, or by applying an accelerating potential. So the accelerating potential needed to provide the energy sufficient, to provide the electron sufficient energy so that it can jump from the ground state to any excited state is known as the excitation potential. So you have to learn and you have to write and understand and learn the definitions of excitation potential and ionization potential. So what is the definition of excitation potential? The minimum accelerating potential needed to energize an electron, which on collision can excite an atom is called the excitation potential of that atom. Alright? And then what is the definition of excitation energy? The minimum energy needed by an electron which on collision can excite an atom is called the excitation energy of that atom. Here you must understand and apply this concept that if suppose excitation potential, I am just giving an example. Okay, this is the easy way you can handle any numerical in less time. Suppose excitation potential is given 5 volt. Is that clear? In that case, what will be the excitation energy? Excitation energy will be 5 electron volt. You have understood? So, in the same manner, suppose excitation energy is given to you. Excitation energy is given 7 electron volt. In that case, what will be the excitation potential? 7 volt. You have observed that for excitation potential, excitation energy, numerical value is same. Only the unit will change. Is that clear? That unit will be what? For potential it will be volt and for energy it will be electron volt, not joule. If it is joule, then the numerical value will also change. Is that clear? So this concept also you must try to learn and remember. So, how you can define ionization potential and ionization energy? That ionization potential energy is the minimum energy, the minimum potential through which an electron should be accelerated so that which on collision with an atom can ionize the atom. Okay, so you can write that minimum accelerating potential needed to energize an electron which on collision can ionize an atom is called the ionization potential. So if you cleverly observe it, that I have just changed the term, instead of excite it is ionize and then it has become the ionization potential. Okay, when it is excitation potential, in place of ionize you have to write excite and it will be excitation potential. So like that, what will be the ionization energy? The minimum energy needed by an electron which on collision can ionize an atom is called the ionization energy of the atom. So those who are clever enough, they can just learn only 2 definitions, and in that, after that, ionization energy and potential, how you can do. In place of excite, write ionize, and in case of excitation, write ionization. You will get the definition. Is that clear? But you must understand and learn. Then only you will be able to apply it. Otherwise not. So you see, what is the excitation energy? Excitation energy, remember, excitation energy, if I write it, you see it will be E infinity minus E1. Isn't it? So E infinity is how much? 0. And E1, if you put the value, it coming plus 13.6 electron volt. So this is the excitation energy. So excitation energy is how much? Excitation energy of any atom is always equal to plus the ground state energy. You must remember it. How you can get the, not excitation, it will be ionization. It is ionization. I forgot to rub it. Ionization energy, not excitation. I am really sorry. Ionization energy, it is given by E infinity minus E1 and it is becoming plus 13.6 electron volt. Ground state energy is minus 13.6 electron volt and ionization energy is how much? Plus 13.6 electron volt. This is for hydrogen atom. For any other atom, what will be the ionization energy? Plus sign, with the plus sign, the energy of the ground state is equal to the ionization energy. So you see, it is very easy to find out the ionization potential. So ionization potential for hydrogen, for this example, it will be 13.6 volt. So these 4 definitions and this concept that if the potential is 5 volt, then energy will be 5 electron volt. You must learn and remember and apply. And all the 4 definitions you must learn. Now the topic I am going to discuss is very important for your board exam. Almost every year question come from this topic. So please try to understand it. It is easy topic and scoring topic. So try to understand it. So if you consider the transition of electron from higher energy orbit to lower energy orbit, I repeat, if an electron transit from a higher energy orbit to a lower energy orbit, then what it does, it emits, it radiates the extra energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. And for each emission of electromagnetic radiation, a bright line is obtained in the spectra. Alright, that's why it is known as the emission spectra. So when emission spectra will be formed, when an electron will transit from higher energy orbit to lower energy orbit. Okay, when an emission spectra will be obtained, when an electron will transit from higher energy orbit to a lower energy orbit, then emission spectra is formed. Alright, now let us consider our relation for the wavelength. Wavelength 1 by lambda is given by R into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay, now we will apply this relation to analyze the hydrogen spectrum. Okay, and this one is very important. Once again, I am just reminding you. Now if you consider the transition of electron, applying this, you see here N2 correspond to the principal quantum number of the higher energy orbit. Is that clear? Or the final orbit, and N1 is the initial one. Is that clear? Now you see, if you draw the energy level diagram, N is equal to 1, this is N equal to 2, N equal to 3, N equal to 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is to infinity. And here you have can put the dot line. Dot line means in between there are several lines, and lines are very close to each other, and we cannot draw, so we just leave it. So in this case, you just consider, suppose any electron from any level jumping to the ground state. Okay, means N1 is 1 and N2 is 2, 3, 4, so on. Then how the energy jumping you can show that, suppose from the second level it is jumping to the first level, so you have to put the arrow. Okay, and then from the third level it is jumping to the ground state, and then for the fourth level it is jumping to the ground state, and then you draw it from the infinity, that from infinity it is jumping to the ground state. Is that clear? Then you see, you will get the spectral lines. They are known as the Lyman series. Okay, after the name of the scientist, name of the physicist who first gave the concept. It is known as the Lyman series. Clear? So these are the spectral lines for Lyman series, and one thing you have to consider, you see all the lines, all the electrons, they are jumping to the ground state. Their destination is the ground state. So you see, this is Lyman series. I am only writing L. No spaces there. Board is too small. So I am writing L. Is that clear? I am missing the school board, that big board. Anyway, what to do? Now, another important point regarding the Lyman series is that these spectral lines, they lie in the ultraviolet region. Okay, so regarding the Lyman series, you have to remember 3 points. What are the 3 points? What is the expression for 1 by lambda? 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by 1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Don't forget to write this, that N1 is 1 and N2 is how much? 2, 3, 4, so on. Means 2, 3, 4 till infinity. Then you will draw the diagram. It is an emission spectra. An emission spectra means the electrons are jumping from higher orbit to the lower orbit, higher orbit to the lower orbit. This is the way. So when their destination is the ground state, N equal to 1 energy level, then the corresponding spectral lines lie in the ultraviolet region, and they are known as the Lyman series. Next, you see, electron may jump from any orbit, any level to the second level. You see, from 3 to 2, then 4 to 2, then 5 to 2, and then from infinity to 2. Is that clear? Just look at the diagram how I am drawing. The arrows are upper to lower level. Is that clear? Down. These are the emission spectra. So this spectra, when electrons jumps from any higher orbit to the second level, that is known as the Balmer series. It is not L is silent, not Balmer. It is Balmer series. And for Balmer series, the spectral line, SL I have written as there is no space. SL means spectral lines. Okay, SL means what? Spectral lines. For Balmer series, spectral lines lie in the visible region. This is the only series for which the spectral line lies in the visible region. And you know, if it lies in the visible region, then only it becomes visible to us. That's why from that concept, Balmer series is very important. Balmer series is the only series for which the this one spectral lines, they lie in the visible region, and this is the diagram for the Balmer series. So you can write here B. Is that clear? Now this diagram is very important. You must, along with this, you must learn the diagram also. Clear? This is interesting, no? So and easily you can learn and remember it. So you please do that. Next you see, next is known as the Paschen series. For this Paschen series, the destination is the third orbit. N1 is equal to 3 and N2 is 4, 5, 6, so on. So you see, you can draw the spectral lines for this. This is from 4th to 3, then from 5 to 3, 6 to 3 and then infinity to 3. Is that clear? These are the spectral line for Paschen series. And for the Paschen series, spectral line lies in the infrared region. Alright. And then next one is known as the bracket series. So it is obvious for bracket series what will be the destination? The fourth one. So this is fourth. So you see from the fifth one it will come to fourth one. Then from infinity it will come to fifth one. So this one is known as the bracket series. Is that clear? And for bracket series, the spectral line lie in the infrared region. For any series, at least try to draw 3 lines. Is that clear? The next one is known as the Font series. This is not P font. P is silent. So this is known as the Font series. For Font series, the destination is fifth. So you see this is the fifth line. So here it is coming from 6 to 5, then from infinity to 5. So this is known as the, here PF you write. Is that clear? Because Paschen is P and here Font series, although we call it Font, but P is there. So write down PF. This is known as Font series. So Font series, it lies in the infrared region. Clear? So this is the, these are all concepts related with the emission spectra of hydrogen. Once again I am telling this diagram very important. For emission spectra, take care, arrow should be in the downward direction, and for different series you have to show at least 3 lines showing the spectral lines. And you also remember that spectral lines, as I already repeated, Lyman series, it lie in the ultraviolet region. Balmer series, it lie in only in the visible region. And then Paschen, bracket and Font series, for all these 3 series, spectral lines lie in the ultraviolet region. Again I am telling, please do learn the emission spectra and practice the diagram also.